yes. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before anything, we shall take the national anthem before. May I start by welcoming our guests, our intellectual father, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Abdurrashid Nala,
I'll put this near you. When the person
a man of administrative and intellectual prowess, a man who is a paragon of intellectualism, not only in our country, Nigeria, a man who has been recognized to represent oratorical epistemology, a man who has given us the motivation, the courage to cement political debate and town hall engagement. This was actually midwife here recently last year, when we held a value clinic, and we came up with this particular idea, the University of Abuja should stand out of all other universities in Nigeria. A few days ago, that the electorate, the voters who own the PBCs are here with us. And that is why we saw it imperative to invite our political aspirants to discuss some of the modus operandi in which, if they come to power, they are going to instrumentalize in order to steer and pilot our nation to a greater height. You're welcome, sir. Good. So it was something more than the Marshall Plan, which was given to Europe for its reconstruction after the Second World War. Ladies and gentlemen, our purpose of being here today is for us to listen to our political aspirants, to tell us how are they going to change because of history, the narrative, their plans, their blueprints, how different are they going to perform in order to change because of history and the suffering that Nigerians have been engulfed into. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Peter Obi, the Now, before you hear from our Vice Chancellor, who is our father and father for today, we are going to listen to my friend, my colleague, with whom we share common ideas, Professor Philip Afaha, who is the director of the Leadership Institute. And we started this thing somewhere last year, and he called me and told me that he also nursing this particular idea of this political engagement. And today, whatever we do, we're doing it for the university and we're doing it for Nigeria. So ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome Professor Philip Afaha, who will provide the welcome address before our parents.
Thank you so very much. I want to recognize the father of the university, my Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdulrashid. Good morning, sir. And thank you for allowing us this space to express ourselves. I want to also use that opportunity to stretch that greeting to members of the university management that are here. You are most welcome. I want to especially also recognize the chairman of the Labour Party who is in our midst. Mr. Chairman, you are most welcome and you are recognized. I also want to recognize the presidential candidates of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, who is here with us. Excellency, welcome. I also want to welcome the vice presidential candidate, Dati Ahmed. You are most welcome, sir. And I have seen the host of this event, my vice president, chief host, but the real host is the dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Wazwe. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you most respectfully for this beautiful edifice that you have kept and maintained for use of events of this nature. I also want to say welcome to my father and colleague, Professor Ambassador Jokeshi, who fixed what you are seeing today. Your Excellency, you are welcome. At this juncture, I want to recognize the students of Abuja Leadership Center, the Masters and Doctoral Students who are here with us. You are welcome. And most important, I want to welcome great Nigeria students. Greatest Bigui. Greatest Baba. Greatest and the greatest Nigeria students. You are most welcome. Today is for you. Today is your day. Before now, we were told that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Today is the tomorrow they told you about. I'm happy that you have chosen to take the battle into your hand. I'm happy to notice that you are all here for one reason, to participate in our democratic process. Nigeria needs our youth more than it needs the elders. I'm happy that this particular election has inspired the youth of Nigeria to choose to participate in the process. Thank you so very much for being here. We fixed this program for 8:30 in the morning, and I want to tell you one thing. Two great leaders that have inspired me, Professor Naala and Mr. Peter Obi, came here by 7:30. That is the first lesson. The first lesson of leadership is for you to be able to dominate time. Time is a major problem in Nigeria. When my vice chancellor drove in by 7:30 and Peter Obi drove in by 7:30, they gathered in my house. Yes, today is a town hall, but we have learned a lesson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dear Nigerian students, I want to remind us, this is not a political rally. This is not a Labour Party rally. This is a town hall. Now, the Abuja Leadership Center was established 2 years ago. It was established 2 years ago. The reason for the establishment of Abuja Leadership Center was to cultivate research in leadership and public governance. The University of Abuja was awarded the ticket to host the leadership school, the first leadership school in Nigeria that is recognized by government. Now we are doing everything the way we always do in U of A to make sure that this leadership school is the best not only in Nigeria but in the continent. That is why we try our best to attract the who is who, both in the international sector and in Nigeria, to come and interact with the university. It is unfortunate that leadership was not captured in the general studies for undergraduate students. But we are going to fill that gap by making sure that once in a while, we bring people in the mode of Peter Obi and Dati to be speaking, to be talking to our students on and share experience on issues of leadership. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for coming here. All our visitors that are here, both from Labour Party and from the political sector, you are most welcome to Abuja Leadership Center. Thank you so very much for this opportunity. I want to use the podium.
Thank you, Professor Philip Afaha. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to invite my father. I'm going to invite my mentor, my model, a person from whose ideas we are actually gathered here. I'm now referring to Professor Abdul Rashid.
The Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences. I must recognize members of council that are here seated. There are two members of the governing council that are here and recognize yourselves. Head of the Department of Political Science, the Director of Abuja Leadership Center, the man of the moment who is here to interact with us, the candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi. The deputy presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate to Peter Obi, Deti Mohammed. Distinguished members that have come along with him, people of opinion all over our nation, my students, great Nigerian students, great Nigerian students. I have seen all across this hall distinguished academic of the great U of Nigeria. I welcome you here from the sciences, from medicine, from law, from social sciences, from agriculture, from every discipline on campus. You are welcome. You are welcome. But more importantly, our students. I've heard it said by the department, by the HOD Political Science, that today is your day. Abuja Leadership Center Director also said the same, that today is your day. You know, university as a whole is a laboratory. And what we do on campus is enable our students to think through issues of the moment, issues that concern development in their communities, in their nation, issues that are crucial to humanity. After all, university is about humanity. How do we project our vision into making life better for humanity? We can do research on campus. We can create products and work with industry. We can create paths and give specific advice resulting from research that we have done and lay down strategies to go to the moon. But it is the politician that will make that decision whether or not we go to the moon. Leadership is everything. Political leadership has the power to take a nation to war, to make peace, to put food on the table for you, to create opportunities for you to have aspirations and have future and have peace in your mind that your future is guaranteed. Political leadership is everything. And that is why in our nation, the great U of Nigeria made a decision that forever and forever, this university will bring politicians to campus and ask them questions, put them in front of our students and allow them to answer questions from our students. We are determined from now on and forever to put this great U of Nigeria at the center of asking questions of leaders. They must answer questions from us. Because intellectual engagement is the basis of everything. Intellectualism of Nigeria is right here at the heart of the university. Where do we want to go? Why is it that we are a nation that is endowed with so much? You look at the soil, it's fertile and great. Just throw a seed and it grows. You look at the sky, even when it is raining, it is sunny. You look at individual Nigerians, they are strong, they are beautiful, the man among them is charismatic, the woman among them is beautiful, I mean, brilliant in every way possible. Why is Nigeria still where we are? What have we done wrong? Is it ideas that we have not put together from even before independence? As Pan-Africanists, as Nigerians, so many constitutional creations. We used to have an education system that was British. We threw that away. We created the 644 504 system. We said we must start with integrated science, social studies, whatever it is. We said our languages must start even from primary school. Have we implemented them? What is the problem? How come India, Brazil, so many of these nations, even Malaysia, Singapore, that were even behind or just at par with us, how come they have overtaken us and we are still crawling as a nation? Is it because we have no ideas? What is the issue? We are a nation of so many years. What are politicians going to do differently? We have heard a lot of stories before. They've told us they will change night to morning. They've never done nothing at the end of the day. What will they do differently today? We want to know it. What is it that you want to do differently today? Tell us as a university. Tell us. We want to know. So ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, you must behave yourselves. This is the University of Abuja, where discipline is sacrosanct. We are zero tolerant for discipline. I was going to send some of you that have no ID card out. If you don't have ID card, my intention was to send you out. But I'm giving you this as the last chance. Last chance, okay? Next time you tell me you have no ID, I'll send you out. That's number one. Number two, pay attention. If you have a piece of paper, write down some of the ideas that has been discussed. Listen attentively. Be ready to ask questions. You do not have to keep clapping because we are here to discuss. This is not a rally. This is an engagement with a candidate. So ask your questions, note your points, and behave yourself. I am very proud of the Department of Political Science and the head of the department. Please give him a round of applause. You do wonderfully well. And I'm very proud of the director of the Academy Center. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you for the work that you are doing. Please, as I said, be engaging. I have people around. If you misbehave, they will show you the way out. I'd like to thank you and I welcome you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, part of the proceedings, please, we listen with keen interest, okay, especially to the presidential aspirant for the business of the day. If the sayings as well as his proposals actually interest you, you can actually clap, no problem, because that's what distinguishes us from media engagement. But again, being a town hall, we must maintain decorum and we must also listen attentively because of the media coverage. Then apart from this, we're going to take questions after the presentations, and he is going to respond to the questions in few minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to presidential aspirant Labour Party. So ladies and gentlemen, please sit down, please.
Please be seated. I was listening to my brother and he said he's going to introduce me. So I said, what again do you want to introduce? You called my name. Let me start by respectfully recognizing our Vice Chancellor,
the dean, and the director, the vice presidential candidate, chairman of our party, and all the dignitaries that are gathered here, especially most importantly the students. Mine dean is a gratitude. I sincerely thank the university and the faculty and the director for this opportunity for interaction. This year I've said all that it needs to be said. So for me, it would have been to go straight into us doing the interaction by asking questions. Because when you go to university, it's not just for them to ask questions. It's all for you to learn. Because the most important ingredients of leadership is listening and learning. When I was driving here this morning, I told Aisha, who was in the car with me, I said, Aisha, let me tell you the greatest thing that happened to me in terms of education, that whenever I go to a secondary school, I'll ask the principal and all the teachers to leave. I want to talk with the students. That it was the students who told me what I did, and we move from the to number one, not their church. So for me, I want to learn, it's about their future. But it's important that before we go into that discussion, we need to know where our country is today. Because unless you know where you are, that's where you, from there, vision where you want to go. If you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going, every road will lead you there. It becomes confusion. You now live in a country that can be classified as a failed state. Because they have made the two major ingredients of a failed state. When you are no longer in control of, number one is when you are no longer in control of your territory. Nigeria have today insecurity that is threatening the existence of the country. No place in Nigeria today is secured. That is affecting every community. It is from banditry to kidnapping, from everything that you can imagine. And we seem to have lost control of it. We have an economic crisis with a debt that everybody, every analyst, every institution have said Nigeria is reaching the worst in terms of its debt. Yesterday I discussed the debt in Bauchi, and I said to them, this city of Bauchi is where we had a leader, Tafa Balewa, a divine leader that was in 1964, June 17, 1964, applied to the World Bank for the first time for Nigeria to borrow money, to borrow $82 million to build the Kainji Dam, to generate 760 megawatts of electricity. In that letter to the World Bank president, he said, we want to change the economy of our country. So this electricity will help us. 1964. That was the first time Nigeria borrowed money. And the World Bank in reply congratulated him for that vision and gave him that money. That is why Kainji Dam was built. 59 years after, that money which he borrowed in 1964 today is worth about 1.2, 1.3 billion naira dollars. 1.2, 1.3 billion dollars. Today, 9 years after, we can still talk about Kainji Dam. But Nigeria today is owing in naira, if we put the ways and means our debt, about 77 trillion. And if you convert it by 410 naira, you have about $187 billion, which is the equivalent of 160 Kainji Dams Where are the kaiju dance? We borrowed money and wasted it. That is the problem we are facing today. Because if we have been able to borrow and generate 750, it would have been different. Nigeria today is facing a crisis of corruption, crisis in oil theft and everything, of proportion. Your university was closed for 8 months in a country where the average tertiary intake is 9%, when the global average is at 8%. We're 9%, and it was shut down. And the reason why it was shut down because there was an agreement in 2009 with the federal government of Nigeria signed and agreed that they will put in 1.3 trillion. 1.3 trillion. And they paid 200. And in subsequent 10 years, they could not pay anything. And they're still a country. The same country, in oil theft in 1 month would have paid that. We're the only OPEC country that is not supplying our quota. Except from Venezuela because of them. In July, it's even worse in August. In July 2022, our OPEC quota is 1.8 million barrels per day. In July 2022. Our average production was 1,083,000. Every day, we lost 717,000. Which, for 31 days, was 222,227 barrels. That's what we lost in July. If we had done that and sold it, July last year was the highest price of oil, $110. That would have given us, if we use that 110 to multiply 22,227, we would have had $2,445,000,000, which if you multiply by 650, will give you 1.4 trillion. And we were closed our university because of 1.1 trillion. So in 1 month, we would have been able to solve that by giving them 1.1 trillion and use the remaining 300 trillion to complete the project of Abuja to Kano. 1 month. I didn't say 2 months, 1 month. That is the waste we see in this country. You have an inflation today that is intolerable because of your fiscal rascality. So we have a problem. Your economy, there's no economy that I know today. Nigeria have 33%, 40% unemployment. You have nearly 55% youth unemployment. Your youth in their productive age are doing nothing. You have a crisis. What will happen when they reach the retirement age? The country is finished. Because in their productive age, they're not doing anything. No country in the world of our size have that level of unemployment without declaring crisis. Today we are classified as a high country with the highest number of people in multidimensional poverty. 133 million people. We have more people living in poverty than India. India is 1.4 billion people. In fact, we have more people living in poverty than India and China combined. These two countries combined is 2.8 billion, and we're just about 200 million. But we have more people living in poverty than two of them combined. They have about 20 million out of school children, mainly girls in the north. So the crisis is something. Why today the drug prevalence globally is about 5.8%. Nigerian drug prevalence among our youth are over 14%. More than twice the average. Because they have nothing to do, you are driving them into drugs and everything. And that is cumulative effect of what we are facing that they call crisis of banditry today. It's cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years that refuse to do the right thing. And I and my brother Daddy have sat down and said, we can solve this. That a new Nigeria is possible. What are we going to do that in Nigeria? I don't want to bore you with crisis because I can speak about crisis of Nigeria for the whole of today. But starting, what is the difference between poor and rich nation? It's exemplified in Human Development Index. Simply, health, education, and per capita. If you fix these three items, you pull your country out of difficulty. So education is at the heart of this. So what you need to do to see the value of your country, when you talk about health, you talk about life expectancy. While the global average is about 72, 73, you are about 55. So you are actually about 20 years short of where the world is. In education, in human capital, we are 168 over 173 globally. So you fail per capita, you're just producing poverty. The only thing this country is manufacturing is poverty. And that's what we want to fix. What do we want to do? We've said, number one, is that we secure and unite the country. The foundation on which you're going to build a new country is to secure the country. Without which you can't do any other thing. People must be secured. And let nobody make you believe that the enemy or the criminal is more formidable. It is not. What is lacking is leadership. What is lacking is to have a governance structure, security governance structure that addresses the problem. And that will only come with leadership. Daddy and I have said we will deal with that issue decisively. And I said to anybody who cares, we're not going to give you an excuse. We want you to hold us responsible. It stops at our death and we'll deal with it. We will discuss with those who are winnable and those who are not, we'll deal with them. There must be a government. One person must be in charge. We can't share it with any other person. Simultaneously, as we are doing this, you must start, because everything you need to do must be simultaneous. You must start pulling people out of poverty. The only way to do this is to remove your country today from consumption to production. Nigeria is not producing anything. It is a country that has wasted everybody's time on sharing. And we want to remove the sharing formula and replace it with production formula. We will tackle this country production based on our factor endowment. I was yesterday in Bauchi State. If you look at my campaign. And I told the people of Bauchi State, you are today waiting for the money to be shared from Abuja. It will soon stop. Because Bauchi State is actually bigger than two countries. Bauchi State is bigger than Belgium and Gambia combined. Bauchi State is 45.8 thousand square kilometers of land. Belgium is 30.9, and Gambia is 10.8. If you plot these two, Bauchi State is more, and they have less population. So they have more land for farming. But they can't feed themselves. When these two countries can feed themselves and everything, we have to stop it. Out of the 10 poorest states in Nigeria, 9 is in the north. And that 9 is are states that can feed Nigeria. States that can make Nigeria a great nation. Because Nigeria can earn more from agriculture, I say it every day, far more than it earns from oil. God has blessed us with land, but we can't even feed ourselves. India can feed itself. India is 1.4 billion people living on 3.2 million square kilometers of land. Nigeria lives on 1/3 of Indian land. We live on 923,000 square kilometers when we have 1/7 of their population. But they can feed themselves and export, but we cannot feed ourselves. It's unacceptable. It cannot continue. And we have states that will endure to be able to feed themselves. Niger State is poor. Borno State is poor. Taraba State is poor. These are our 3 biggest states. These states alone can feed themselves, feed Nigeria, and export. Niger State earns for statutory allocation. By the time they deduct their debts, in a year, the most they can get is about 50 billion naira. That's all they can get. And that's what they're running around. They don't want to do any other thing. When they are sitting on 76.3 thousand square kilometers of fertile land, 8 of their local governments is under control of bandits because they have no job. But they have 76.3 thousand square kilometers of fertile land that can change Nigeria and feed Nigeria. Netherlands have only, without water, 33,000 square kilometers of land. So Niger State is 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. Netherlands last, in 2021, did agricultural export of 103 billion euros, $120 billion. Niger State cannot feed itself. But they have 2.5 times their land. They have winter, they have everything. But they did 120 billion export of agricultural products. 4 times the entire Nigerian export. That's what the land did in there. If Niger State was able to do just 5% of that, it will be $6 billion. At 650, 700 that the rate is today, they will have about 4 trillion, 80 times what they will earn for statutory allocation, but they won't do it because they are waiting for money to be shared. We want to remove that sharing formula. Niger State can be able. The same thing is what you're going to see in all other places. Our problem today is Sambisa Forest. That is where we said we cannot. It's a farmland. It's a place that can be productive. The Sambisa area is 60,000 square kilometers. That is 3 times the size of Israel. Israel is 22.1. So if you times Israel by 366, they are 60. It's 10% minus surplus, and it's giving us problems. We can become a farmland. That year and I have changed. We will change this country. It will not be the same again. We are not here to give promise. So we can use that. The same thing goes with Taraba. I just want to use these 3 tests to show you how great this country is. Same thing goes with Taraba. Taraba is 64.4 thousand square kilometers. That is bigger than Belgium and Israel combined. They can't feed themselves. Taraba is a fall of Mandela, where you can do tourism, where you can grow flower, where you can grow tea, where you can grow coffee. I was in Kenya and I saw young boys and girls picking flower. Kenya did the export of over $500 million of flour in 2021. Flour, technology science in growing flour. We have enough young girls and boys that even buy some during Valentine and everything. So we have, but we're not growing that. They want to go to holidays. Everybody's going to Kenya on holidays. What do they see in Kenya? It is the mountain, it's the beautiful scenery. We have it in Taraba. And people can go there. But we can't go there. Taraba can grow coffee. Ethiopia did an export of $1.1 billion worth of coffee in 2021. Nigeria cannot. The total export of Nigeria in 2021, including oil, is 18.9 trillion. Converted by 650, which is the rate today, is under $30 billion. For a country of 200 million people living on 923,000 square kilometers. Since you mentioned Malaysia. Malaysia lives on 329,000 square kilometers of land. 33 million population. Their export in 2001 was over $250 billion. So we couldn't do 8 times what we did is what Malaysia did. It's unacceptable. We will change this country. We must make it productive. What did Malaysia export? Including the oil, palm oil, which they came here to learn. No. Vietnam came out of war a few years ago. Vietnam export. Vietnam lives on 331,000 square kilometers of land. 100 million population, half of our population, their export is over 350 billion. We couldn't do 10% of what they're doing. Despite that, we double their population, 3 times their land size. It's unacceptable. I can go on and on. You have a great country. You have a great space. What you lack is leadership. This is why I wasted everybody's time for a long time. And throwing your future. We're talking about your future, it's not about our future. It's your future. When you say people should go and talk in university, this year I was telling you in your office, all the great men I met them in university. I met them in university. When I passed through Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, and everything, I met great people come and talk to us as students. That's what we did. We want to build a better future for you. It's not about us. They will come and tell you, who is Mr. Obi? Mr. Obi doesn't have even structure. They don't know him. What structure do they have? Structure of criminality, corruption, throwing people into poverty, and causing misery for our people. We want to reverse that. That's what we want to do. We will dismantle one of the channels that was interviewing me this morning said, establishment. I said, which establishment? Is it corruption establishment? Or is it corruption? No. My dear people, we are not here to tell you anything, but to assure you that a new Nigeria is possible. And that new Nigeria will be led by a leader, and leaders that understand what the problem is. This election that is coming must not be based on ethnicity. If you're from the north and anybody say vote for me because I'm from the north, tell him that the poorest people live in the north. They haven't solved it for years. Let them show you the north is insecure. That's what you answer them. Because you have voted not since. What did they do? The very people they used the controversies. The very people they ride on their back to get there because the first victim. The North is the poorest. South is the same thing. There's poor people everywhere. So please, it is not about ethnicity. You can't drive today from Abuja to Kaduna by air, by road, or by train. It's not because a non-northerner is in government. Enough of that. This year's election should not be by religion. There's no place Christians or Muslims buy bread cheaper. If you not if you have any mosque, if you know any mosque where they sell bread cheaper, show me. You go there and buy bread. I come out and wash. It is enough of that nonsense. Our problem is not religion. I've asked people like VC, you have opportunity of traveling to Dubai. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. The Catholic church in Dubai, the land and the church was built by any of Dubai, is a Muslim. Let us stop telling us that nonsense. The central mosque is not wrong. The land cost billions. The land was donated by the Queen. It's not a Muslim. It's only in Nigeria. Because they want to deceive us. Because they have refused to educate our people. Kept them impoverished to tell them lies. Tell them we will not follow you by religion. It is not by my turn. It's nobody's turn. It's your turn to take back your country. It is nobody's turn. My name is Mr. Peter Obi. I will tell you, I'm from the South. I'm an Igbo man. I'm proud of where I come from. But I'm even more proud being a Nigerian and I'm contesting the election. I don't want anybody to vote for me because of where I come from. I don't want anybody to do it for that thing. I'm contesting this election because I'm the most qualified to solve this problem. Let me assure you, this year's election will be a character we can trust. It's no longer stories. The vice presidential candidate is here. And I'll tell you who he is. His name is Dati Baba Ahmed. That is his name. You can go and Google it. When he wanted to introduce me, I said no introduction. Go and Google his name. You know his age. You know his name. You know the schools he went to. He had PhD in London School of You know the economics. That is the beginning. We must know those we are voting for. Their name, their age, and everything, and where they school they went to must not be secrecy. It must be open. Mr. Peter Obi. If you look at here, I can show you. Let me tell you, I can show you people whom I went to school with. Vice Chancellor, I know we are not in favor. Time is out, but I need to mention something. that happened to me. One of the greatest people that helped me in my government is here. Professor Ume. When I became governor, the Nigerian Medical Council refused. The Nigerian Medical Council refused and said to me that the University of Anambra State University Medical School is shut down. And I asked why. They said to me, you have no teaching hospital. And you cannot have a medical school without a teaching hospital. He was the leader of that team. And I remember begging them in office, you cannot punish the students because of the mistake of the government. We made the mistake, they will suffer. And I argued, can you allow me to build a teaching hospital in 2 years? All the panel members said it will not be possible. Professor Sume said, why don't we give him 2 years? Go today. Go to Anambra State University today. I built the fastest teaching hospital ever built in Nigeria. So thank you for that. The first question, how you feel? This year's election will be based on competence. Character we can trust. So when I say, I'm Mr. Peter Obi, I went to Christ King College. I was in the University of Nigeria, Suka. I'm an alumni of Lagos Business School, an alumnus of Lagos Business School, alumnus of Oxford, alumnus of Cambridge, alumnus of... And you can go there and Google it. If you Google Oxford, then you see. So it is a very simple thing. We need people with commitment. We need people with compassion. So we know what we're doing. Maybe because of us, because I want it to be interaction. I want you to ask questions. I heard when we're talking, they said, if anybody do something that is wrong, we'll walk him out. We're not going to walk anybody out of here. You're free to tell me whatever you want. I want to learn from you. Because about your future. But let me assure you again. Don't allow us to continue the abuse of your country. Don't allow us to continue the abuse of your country. The society you abuse, allowing us to abuse today and destroy today, will take his revenge on you. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, please. You may sit down, please. Thank you for your presentation. All right, with your permission, the Vice Chancellor, we're going into the second segment of this particular town hall meeting. We shall actually engage His Excellency Peter Obi, having some questions from members of the academic and intellectual environment, like 2 or 3. Then we open the room for questions, from the general audience. Burning questions, acceptable questions, please, based on the presentation he has already made. So I would like to invite, including those that he did not make. All right, I would like to invite Professor Iro Uche, a professor of public administration and policy analysis to actually raise his question about policy issues that affect our dear country and what will be the plans of His Excellency Peter Obi in this particular area.
Starting on the protocol already established, I just have a little practical question that I want to ask our candidates. How are you going to give us electricity? No, you have been talking about theory. How are you going to give us electricity? How are you going to give us the steel rolling mill to be productive? And how are you going to give us fuel? Since we are producing crude oil, how are we going to have petrol, kerosene, and all that, so that we'll be happy with you?
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to take two more. I'll now invite Dr. Akonde, the head of Department of Philosophy, for your question, please.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Dr. Tunde Akande, HOD Philosophy Department, University of Abuja.
So please, sorry, Doctor, please introduce yourself proper, then you go ahead with the question.
My name is Dr. Tunde Akande. I'm the HOD of Philosophy Department, University of Abuja. We have it as a popular maxim in philosophy that until philosophers become kings, or kings become philosophers, nations will not know peace. A philosopher king is a leader who has vision, backed up with character, competence, and capacity to deliver. As a philosopher, sir, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi has been a practical demonstration of this popular philosophical axiom. He has demonstrated it as governor of Anambra State in his business life and in his personal life. The problem of Nigeria is largely a problem of bad thinking. For example, it is as a result of bad thinking that we have crude oil in abundance and we are unable to refine it locally. It is as a result of bad thinking that we have vast expanse of arable land, but we cannot have food security. It is as a result of bad thinking that we have so much sunshine, but cannot champion because of solar technology. We are therefore perishing because of lack of philosophy. Your Excellency, sir, we want to say that we are proud of you as a philosopher. And to my fellow Nigerians, I want to use this medium to urge you all. Now that we have a chance to install the philosopher king and the philosopher statesman as our leader, in the person of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, please do not let this golden opportunity slip by. Let us both mission and vision backed up with character, competence, and capacity. Your Excellency, sir, we look forward to hosting you as a philosopher president after May 29, 2003, when by His grace, you must have been sworn in as the President of the Federal Republic. God bless His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. God bless Abuja Leadership Center. God bless the Department of Philosophy in Abuja. God bless the University of Abuja. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, please. May I also, we have one professor before the student, please. Let me invite Professor Enem Simon Ikechuko of the Department of Veterinary Public Health, please.
There should be a noise there.
Thank you, the President is making. God will make you. By all means, God will make you. From your speech this morning, we know that we don't deserve any other person apart from you as the President of this country. But I know the problem of Nigeria is complex. And as you have just enumerated here, we have a lot of issues. It's like in abundance of water, the good is best. Sir, how do you assure us that when you get into this system, that you build the system in such a way that even when you leave, the system will still be functional? We know that we are assured that we are going to create the system. But the issue is not just creating the system. The issue is after you have gone, by the grace of God you will be there. But after you, what happens next? So that we'll be like another country of the world. We are not the person entering balance, but how the system plays the role. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. His Excellency will respond to the questions. Then before we throw it to the general audience, we invite you to make your presentation.
Someone will make sure you hear it very well. Even if you don't hear the question, I'll repeat it before I answer it. Professor Suke, let me thank you because you came from the policy service. Professor Suke, there's nothing difficult in power generation. There's nothing that Nigeria is going through that other nations haven't gone through. The three countries that have been able to double their capacity in power generation, the fastest growth in power generation in the past 5 years have been three countries, and those three countries are developing countries. Number one is India, Vietnam, and Egypt. Egypt is in Africa. Listen, Egypt is in Africa. Egypt found out that power was critical to their economic development. And what did they do? They put in what made it necessary for them within a period of 4 years to move to below 20,000 megawatts to nearly 50,000 megawatts. As we speak, Egypt is exporting power to Europe. Egypt is in Africa. I was in Egypt for 3 days studying what they did. What they did, Prof, we can do it here. Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. That's what we claim. Giant of Africa. The giant of Africa generates between 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts of electricity. Distributes them. That is the giant. With over 200 million people. The second biggest economy is South Africa. South Africa is about 60 million people, but they generate nearly 50,000 megawatts. You are 200,000. 200 million. You generate 5 to maybe about 5,000. And then somebody with 60 generates about 50. And in the past 2 months, South Africa has declared a war, what they call emergency power. You can Google it and say they're not generating enough. That anybody can generate 100 megawatts without license. Somebody who is generating 50, about 50,000, 60 million people have declared emergency. Then you're generating 5,000, you're 200 million. What will you do? You will declare war. If you read my manifesto, our manifesto, you will see clear lines of what we want to do with the issue of power. We've said by end of this year alone, we will ensure that we complete the power project with Siemens to ensure 7,000 generation, transmission and distribution. And we promise what we're going to do in 2024 and what we're going to do in 2025 is documented there. One thing I can tell you, that if there's anything that the NI discuss every day, that we can't afford to fail this thing. You can go and read, we share it year by year, not wasting anybody's time. On the rolling bill, I can tell you, Prof, when we want to deal with the issue of internationalization, we're not giving a detailed question what we're going to do, because we need expert advice. First is that we want government to pull out of any form of investment. Government is not a good manager. We want it to do everything to be privatized, but not the type of privatization that's done in the past, where we privatize profits and socialize losses. We will now deal with it the way it's going to be done, and everybody will see it in a transparent, regulatory manner. On the issue of fuel, first is that people have asked this question. If we have the opportunity from day one, we will remove subsidy. It's gone. People will tell you, oh, there will be crisis. Let me assure you, there will not be any crisis. First is that subsidy, as it is in Nigeria today, is organized crime. Nigeria is a country with about 200 and 250 million population. Pakistan is about the same population, 200, 250 million. Pakistan have more roads than Nigeria, yet their daily consumption of fuel is below 50% of Nigeria. We will remove subsidy. Besides, no country in the world refuses to invest money where it's supposed to invest money. The greatest investment any nation can do is education. The more you invest in education, the more developed you are. Everybody knows that. You can't talk about physical infrastructure without dealing with human infrastructure. But look at it now. Your country, the national country, between 2015 and 2021, 6 years, the total budget in education is about 3.6 trillion. You can go and check, it's about 3 trillion, 500, it's about 3.6 trillion. The second most important thing a nation can do is health. In fact, if you follow Professor Andrew Sutton, the Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2015, he said that the difference between rich and poor countries is health and education. The second biggest thing you can do is health. Your budget in health is about 2.6 trillion for 6 years. These two combined is about 6 trillion, and your spending in budget for subsidy in 1 year is 6.7 trillion. It's not acceptable. That is why your country is collapsing. We will remove it. We will support those who are going to do have refining facilities there. That is about to be completed. We have some other modern refineries who are not even getting the crude oil. I say it every day, people don't want that. They even have people that say they're doing it illegally. I will go to them and say, Oga, no more illegal. Come, let's do it legal. Because I want you to produce value. Anybody, anywhere I can make it possible to be available, I'll do it. And I'll bring the price down. And I'll use the resources they used to steal to invest in education, to invest in health. If we have educated Nigeria and healthy Nigeria, we will develop. So that is what we have in fuel. On the issue of bad thinking, Prof, I thank you. Nigeria is not just bad thinking. It's bad thinking plus stealing. They don't know what they're doing. We need the dollar. I'm just giving you an example. A country that needs every $1 is not producing its quota. If you compare Nigeria and Angola, this year, because of the high oil price last year, Angolan inflation have come down, the rate of exchange have gone down. Nigeria took the other way around because you're not producing your quota. I just gave example with July. In August, our production was 1. Until I started shouting, it's coming up now. In August, our production was 975. We are losing 825 every day. For 31 days, about 25 million barrels, which are $192.5 billion. The money is needed every day. So we'll deal with that. It's bad thinking and stealing. We'll stop stealing. Prof, you asked about if I agree whether it can be sustained. Prof, it can be sustained. When you talk about the institution, one sustained institution anywhere in the world is the people. One sustained institution anywhere in the world is the people. If you go to Ghana today, Ghana, I'm not saying anyone, and you are doing driving against the road where they say is one way, it is only for vehicle going this way, and you're going against it, Kenyans will block you. They'll block you. A minister was just removed in Africa recently because what did he do? Now, a minister was removed in Africa recently for corruption. What did he do? Because they found out that the minister suddenly built a new house in East Africa. In Nigeria, they vote me to be in. He has no house in Abuja. Everybody knows he doesn't have a house in Abuja. 6 months, he built the biggest house in Abuja. Goes to his local church and says, do Thanksgiving. Invites everybody. You come there, the bishop is saying that he's praying to God. I continue blessing him so he can build more. The people are there, drinking and singing. When they know what to do, call police. This man is just spending their money. So we celebrate criminality. We celebrate criminality, bad behavior. The only way I could have come in here and it makes me that I would have come with police and all over the place, pushing people up and down. That is madness. And nobody says anything. Nobody have ever asked anybody in Nigeria, what does he do for a living? We have people without daytime job, living like stars, and are being celebrated. Even coming to university and getting money, and university are giving the honorary doctorate degree. That is the crisis we have. That must change. Universities must give doctorate degree to renowned professors of research who have developed something, not to this. We have a country where professors are paid 400,000, where councillors earn more than a professor. Which country is that? Where we negotiate with bandits, but we can't negotiate with professors. What country is that? We will destroy it. We must change this country. So, Prof, we can sustain it. We will sustain, we the people will sustain it. We will say no. When the new person comes and say, hey, say, okay, Don't stop this one. Let me tell you, as governor, just to conclude, I used to go to church. And I said to them, if the governor come late, you stay at the back. That's where let's come and stay. Okay. Because I was doing it as the governor, when I left, one local government chairman came one day, I wanted to go first. They told him, "Each of you should stay at the back." It is the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now we shall take questions from the students. I'm going to select one here, one. One. No. Okay. Okay, please. Okay, ask the question.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. My name is Olubade Theophilus Toluwase. I am from the Department of History and Diplomatic Studies. Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask, you have talked so much on the economic problem of this country. How do we channel the intellectual of young people in this country to actualize a prosperity in our economy? Talking about, for instance, like the polytechnic education, how can we revive it? How is it possible that people can go to school to study furniture and they will make it? How can we go to school that people will study iron bending or what do you call it, and people can make it? You don't have to always come to be a lawyer or you be a, people can actually and sir, the next thing sir I want to ask is that, sir, I was at home for 8 months. It's a part of my education and I am not growing any younger. Sir, how will you ensure to make sure that this incessant ISO strike stop for life? The last thing I want to say, dear Nigerian students, I want to please, I beg you, go and get your PhD.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Abrogated Nigeria students. My name is Lawrence Chidebere Oku. I'm a foreign level of political science and international relations. Your Excellency, I have a question for you. I am a frustrated Nigerian. What will be our fate? What is our fate after our duration in school? In terms of securing a good job? Because over the years, when I've gone to school, they've been lamenting until today that I'm not getting a job. Someone who did not go to school will make it for them. That is why they believe that school is but a scam. So, what assurance are you giving to us? After our school, especially we, the foreign level students, by April this month, by April this year, we'll be out of school. And after our NYSC, what will be the assurance we're going to get a white-collar job? Thank you, Your Excellency.
For the greater Nigerian students, and for total Nigerian students, I want to talk, I want to yarn, I want to sorrow. I want to distinguish acknowledge my Vice Chancellor. I want to distinguish acknowledge my Vice Chancellor, Professor Naala. I want to acknowledge the man of caliber himself. You know that person that His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi. It is a great opportunity according to your manifesto, sir. The Ministry of Education will work out on a public-private model that involves private cooperation, assuming funding and managerial responsibilities in the special restructured taxation plan. So can you give us a proper plan and strategies on how you want to implement this? Then my second question is, our school is in session. How do you collaborate with students in order for us to harness and go and collect our PVCs in the local areas? So basically, that's the only two questions I have.
Since we want to have a meeting now.
Hello, sir. All right, my name is Eunice Akasoba. All right, my question is, Ghana has seen a large financial increase in their country since implementing citizen by investment program, allowing Africans in the diaspora to become automatic citizens. For example, a person with an African DNA can invest a certain amount of money in the country. All right, for example, a person with an African name can invest a certain amount of money in the country through business, through donations, and through real estate ventures to be granted citizen status in the country. Do you think that type of program will benefit Nigeria? And if so, how will you go about putting it into place?
That lady there.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Ugoke Mabel. I'm from the Department of College of Health Science, Medicine and Surgery. Sir, to be honest, most of us in my department, the only thing in our head is to jack back. So, what's the assurance that after going through this whole stress of medical school, that I will not graduate and then they will be paying me 70K under very bad working condition? Apart from that, doctors are under so much risk. You're a doctor and then something happens to a patient and then the patient's relative come attack you for doing your job as a doctor. So what's the assurance that, because the brain drain in the medical sector is really, really high, so what are you going to do about doctors running away from the country? Thank you.
Hello, please.
Hello. Of the greatest Nigeria student, ever courageous Nigeria student, I want to. My name is Coach Promise. I'm a 400 science. So with difficulties, our excellency has asked. I jotted down some few questions I would like to ask. First of all, I want to ask His Excellency how he's going to deal with security issues all over the country. We can't sleep or travel at night. There's no peace anywhere anymore. My second question goes to, what is his plan for the youth
Are we just going to be obedient and not see any significant change in our welfare and job security? Because a lot of us are out of school and there's no job for us. I also want to ask His Excellency in his thoughts in improving our GDP.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
He's got it on his phone, he's reading it. Oh, yes, maybe the phone is taped.
Excellency, and by the grace of God Almighty, parent of this great nation, come May 2023. There is Your Excellency, my name is Professor Arinze Abuja, immediate past dean, Faculty of Law, and now Director, Center for Security and Legal Studies at University. I'm agitated after listening to one of the presidential candidates at a rally where he made an allegation that the current fuel scarcity we are having in Nigeria, the change of colors of the currency, we are all directed at sabotaging the forthcoming election. My question is, do you align yourself with these lamentations expressed by this candidate? If no, tell us how you see this policy of change currency at this hour. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please, last station. Please. We have to be gender balanced.
Good morning, My Excellency. It's a great honor to be in front of you today, and you are welcome. My name is Anya Kwesta. I'm a 100-level student of Post Science and International Relations. My question is on insecurity. 3 officers, pre-military official, we are killed in the attack in Imo State, which I know you heard about. Every one of us heard about it. On a convocation, former governor, Wike or Hakim, what is your plan or what are your plans in tackling insecurity issues? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for all the questions. May I invite the Vice Chancellor? Let me invite the Vice Chancellor, please, to make a presentation to His Excellency before he proceeds to respond to your questions. If we have to start to
Great Nigerian students! The University of Abuja has a tradition. And the tradition is to show gratitude to our guests and assure them that we welcome them to our great campus. And we are grateful for taking their time. We don't have money, but we can give a token. And therefore, bringing this token to pick out.
and students.
Secondly, I want to give him a copy of my book. It's a collection of poetry poems and it's titled Obama Mentor.
Thank you, my sister. We really appreciate your gift, His Excellency. Thank you.
Yes, the second going with them. That's right behind them. Yes. Yes.
Let me plead with all of us. Let me plead with all of us. There's something the Vice Chancellor begged all of us this morning. My dear students, there's something the Vice Chancellor begged all of us this morning. What we are doing here, as the VC requested this morning, is very, very important. That's why you select and vote for leaders everywhere in the world. We are not here for rally. We're here for intellectual discussion, which I want to plead with all of you. So please participate. Let us organize ourselves and participate, and you'll see the difference in the end. Now I'm going to answer the questions that were asked by students. Very, very important question. The first question is about the issue of how do we transform it that somebody who read carpentry, furniture can be rich, get job. Let me assure you, my brother, tertiary education is very important. But once you have basic education, you can actually change the world. So that skill you're talking is in you. You don't need to look for a job. It goes with somebody who said they are looking for a job. What we want to do in the country is to make you job creators, the employers of labor. I can tell you, most big companies you see in the world, we are started by people like you. We want to create the opportunity for you to create jobs. What is the biggest company in the world? Huh? Can anyone tell me what is the biggest company in the world? Huh? Apple. Who is the founder of Apple? Huh?
Sorry.
And who? He's not the only person. Let me tell you. The founder of Apple, hello? The founder of Apple is Steve Jobs, you're right. Steve Jobs and his friend Wozniak founded a company called Apple. Steve Jobs, if you don't know, was adopted from a home, like motherless baby's home. His mother had him, I couldn't take care of him, I put him in a foster home. And he didn't have opportunity of going to university. He had basic education. And like any other child, him and his friend Wozniak, in fact, he was so stubborn in secondary school, they didn't believe him. They developed the biggest company in the world today. Apple is valued for over 2.4 trillion, when the entire African GDP is about 2.2 trillion. So it is a different thing. You are a job creator. The highest number, the best school you can go in India today, the school that created created the most number of billionaires or the most number of people who are celebrated billionaires in India is Bombay Institute of Technology. That school was built the same year by British government as Yaba College of Technology. It is just that Nigeria failed. And we are not getting it right. When we had COVID, we were looking for what? Where to produce what? Nigeria had a vaccine factory in Yaba, but we were using seeds to fight other problems, but we killed it. So, education, technical school, actually better than the academic school. Tailoring, furniture making, crafting, who are the biggest furniture making makers in the world? They have more money than professors. So we want you to focus on skill that can give you opportunity. I can go on and on, but we have so many questions. What do you do in terms of ASU strike? That means you have not been following my campaign. Let me assure you today, and in assuring you this, nobody will be in position of telling you what I'm telling you today. The vice presidential candidate of Labour owns 2 universities. As you know, Daddy Baba Ahmed owns 2 universities. I know what I tell him every day. The only way public university can be closed is that your own is closed. 4 years will be 4 years. There will not be ASU strike under my watch. People will say, listen, Megam, people will say it's impossible. People will say it's impossible. Let me tell you, as governor of Anambra State, I had ASU strike. As governor of Anambra State, I had ASU strike. I sat down with ASU, with the university management, discussed what we are going to do in order to end ASU strike. In your last 8-month strike, Anambra State University was one of them. Go and check, and they will tell you, go and listen to what the SUG president said. He said they were not on strike because of Peter Ob's decision in 2009. Schools cannot be closed. If they are closed, Nigeria is closed. Because that's where we are training the future. And that brings me when somebody asked that I said that how are we going to manage schools? Tertiary education. The way we are managing it in Nigeria is not the way it should be done. We have what you call debt fund. It's money created for corporations. We will ensure that it's better managed. We will ensure that we increase more funding, and we will do so many methods, including loans to sustain universities. University education must change. I'm sure when I say loans to sustain university education, some of you will say, oh no, we don't want loans. Let me tell you the beauty of loans. If you want to go to school, you only pay it when you have a job. If you don't have a job, you don't pay it. So with that, we will change the funding of the university. How do we guarantee securing jobs? I've said before, you will be job creators. That's what you people are supposed to be. I went to university in Nigeria. Yeah. What has happened is that there's no physical support to micro, small businesses where you're domiciled. If we support you, you're energetic, you're creative, you will be creating jobs. And then those, because we're going to move the country from consumption to production, there will be opportunities for job creation in different fields. And that's what we are going to do. In our African DNA, let me assure you, it's already being done in America, where some people say they are from Nigeria, and Nigerian government is already giving them opportunities to the citizens. Somebody asked about brain drain. Let me tell you, I'm not worried about brain drain. Brain drain will be brain gain. Those that change India today, those that change China today, those that change all those countries are people who left at time of difficulty. When things are good, they will all come back with what they have learned from them. I'm not worried about those who are living in Nigeria. Quote me, when we do what we do here, they will come back. And people will are safe. They will bring the foreign investors. So don't worry about them. If doctors leave, I will train more doctors. We'll give them job here. If we do the right thing, people want to come back here. If we do the right thing, people want to come back here. I've lived abroad myself, and I know that people want to come back here. But you cannot come back. Nobody knows if he goes where there's anarchy. Even animals. If ants are passing here, you put fire there, they'll turn away. So nobody goes where there's a problem. Nobody will come back here. So those who want to leave, I don't blame you. If you have way, leave, but you make it such a way that you come back. Prof, you asked about fuel shortage. Our currency is one is that the Central Bank of Nigeria have right to change the currency. It's within their law. They are obeying the law. Number two, those who say they are doing this for election, they're in better position to know. I don't make comments about other candidates, especially the candidates who are established. They know because they're inside. Me, I'm outside. I don't know whether the hunger they're imposing on students is also when it was election. I don't know whether poverty they're creating is also because of election. They know better. I don't know. But I want to tell you that under my watch, we will not have fuel scarcity. Under my watch, we have this war. But what they do, they're in position to know better because they are part of that. I've said it before. We need to just have people who can explain to us and everything and communicate. We can no longer have an issue where people say, oh, because they change currency, let people vote whoever they want to vote. Let them do whatever they want to do. I'm not in position to know. You might be part of them, so you tell me. But I'm not, I don't know. Mine is to obey the law. You're a lawyer. Okay. And I think somebody talks about what I have for the youth. Let me assure you, the youth are the future. The government we want to run. Every day they tell you are leaders of tomorrow. They were telling me this when I was in university. That we are leaders of tomorrow. Till today they don't want to go. And we want to force them to go. One of the things that said, go and look at the 4 major candidates. I'm the youngest. In fact, To tell you what it is, if you look at the two major parties, call the three major candidates. Among the three major candidates, I'm the youngest. Each of them are my senior with at least 15 years. Yes. Right? If you do an average age, because we're going to use an average age. If you do an average age between the chairman of the party of, say, PDP, the chairman of the party, the candidate, and the vice presidential candidate, the average is 70. That is the average. The average is 70. If you do the one of APC, the one of APC, the chairman is 75, that I know. The candidate is unknown. One minute. The other one, so if you do the average on NBC, I'll show you it will be less than 70. Just imagine whatever you've done. It's okay. If you do the average between myself, the vice presidential candidate, our party chairman, our average is about 55. What it then shows that the next government will come lower to 50. One day it will get to me. Where these people are? If look around us today, these are things we want to change. So when they come, you must be younger. Our party chairman is 52 years old. When that of APC is 75, PDP is 71, ours is 52. That's how you start leading a party. So you can give younger people a chance. For these people who always think about people of their own age, no. You're a human being, you get tired. That's why they have retirement time. Let me assure you, we have finished. I've answered all the questions. And I know today you have school and it's important to you. So I think at this stage, maybe we'll stop here. No, let us do. Okay. If I'm going to do more questions, I will stop.
Hello, mister.
Great Nigeria students! Articulate Nigeria students! articulate. Thank you very much. Please, I want to ask a very straightforward question. Very straightforward question. Is it affecting everybody in Nigeria? Those who have been recruited to protect us, to police us, to guide us, to direct us, to assist us, have become our nemesis. As I was coming here this morning, I saw two policemen dragging down a young man from a taxi because he was wearing, to them, they say he's a Yahoo boy. I said, show me evidence. They couldn't, and I said, if you don't leave him now that I'm here, you and your crew will run away from here this moment. Because that was in front of school. So, Your Excellency, the Nigerian police, most of them, not all of them, their activities, especially those on the road, especially those on the highway, especially those who harass people. Your Excellency, we need help. I don't know what we are going to do to Nigerian police. Sometimes I wonder, are we going to remove all of them and chase them away? Or are we going to retrain them? Nigerian police needs to be declared as a state of emergency. Because the kind of police that we have now, and their actions and inactions, Your Excellency, if nothing is done, and you become the president of this country by God's grace, they can be a source of failure. So, Mr. President, Mr. Excellency, I don't know the assurance you are going to give us and what will happen to the Nigerian police. Thank you very much. Please, this is the last patient, please.
My name is Honorable Campbell. Now, in 2020, the federal government banned cryptocurrency trading. And 80% of digital revenue has gone into online. So how will you use this revenue to ensure that the cryptocurrency and the digital space have the federal government backing in your tenure? Thank you.
First, my name is Patience Pleasure Yamaka in the Department of my question is about people that have their PVC in other states and are currently in school and they are going to find it difficult to vote. I have roommates, friends that are registered in the states where they live, but they are currently in school and it's going to be difficult for them to travel to go and vote. And some schools are fixing exams close to the election day. So is there any way we can mobilize, maybe, students to go to their various states to vote for the upcoming election? But I'm sure about 4 million students.
We have come to the... We are supposed to stop by 10, but because of the way you are, most of the questions are the same thing, so we just have to stop. You know, we are very different. What is different in it?
Your Excellency, my question is different, and I believe something very good. We are praying that P2B will not be in Enugu State, P2B will not be in Adamawa, P2B will not be in Lagos, P2B will not be in Bauchi. Now, there is something called state capture. You struggle to get the power from nowhere, people come and hijack it. What precisely we're talking here is about what South Africans have called state capture. What is your strategy to ensure that by the time these masses, these Nigerian masses have suffered, see you as the hope, justice, fairness, and others. That this mandate enters the hand of P2B. What is the chance that from nowhere people will enter Labour Party and P2B will begin to find some challenges in managing these human beings?
Okay, let's attempt to answer this. Let's attempt to answer this. And I'll start from you. Let me start from you. Let me tell you, I've been a governor. As a governor of my state, I did not have one member in House of Assembly from my party. I did not have a local government chairman. I did not have a House of Rep member or state member. My party was as small as this. You only worry about all this when you're going to run a transactional government. If you're going to be transparent, it doesn't matter whether you're alone. And if you know me, I don't think they'll come from anywhere. What we are going to do, I have no room for anybody coming for any capture. We will capture the person before I capture them. We don't have any room. I have two questions here which I'll answer. Somebody asked about corruption and theft. But when I finish this out, I use them to conclude. Here, people ask about issue of Nigerian police. Let me assure you. Let me assure you. Nigerian police is not the problem. We will change Nigerian police to the police and they'll be friendly. It's because they don't know. Those boys who are calling Yahoo boys, because of lack of our investment in another job, we will make those people you call Yahoo boys. We will change them because they have the talent to change the world. I want you to listen to this. Hello? I want you to listen to this. When we talked about Steve Jobs this morning, all of you said Steve Jobs funded Apple. Everybody here said Steve Jobs funded Apple. Let me tell you one of the greatest problems of Steve Jobs. The greatest thing Steve Jobs did in his life. Steve Jobs funded Apple with his friend. I want you to listen to this. Watch me. Do you know what they did? Steve Jobs went and started using phone to test a man called John Scully. John Scully was CEO of Pepsi. Pepsi had a headquarters in New York. His office is in the 12th floor. Pepsi Global. The CEO of Pepsi is a man called John Scully. Steve Jobs and his friend sat in a garage, texting him every day, stop selling sugar water, come and join us to change the world. These two boys are in a garage, texting him every day, stop selling sugar water, because that is not the future of the world. What we are doing is future. And they were doing it every day. Every day. I want you to listen. If it's in this country, you know what will happen? Police will arrest them. 1 minute, I'm trying to look the man. After 6 months of testing John Scully every day, John Scully went to Pepsi management and submitted his resignation and said, this boy said to him, we are not going to pay you. We are going to give you 5% of the company. No salary. But I want you to help us to change the world. John Scully went to Pepsi management, submitted his letter of resignation, and when they asked him where is he going, he said he wants to go and join these boys in garage because they are fascinated by what they are doing. That's how John Scott left his office to came to Apple to become the CEO of Apple, no salary, but he was given 5% of the company. The first thing John Scott did was to sack Steve Jobs. You know, Steve Jobs was sacked from Apple. John Scott sacked him. He said Steve Jobs is fascinated about what he's going to do. He's not putting money aside of it. So imagine selling sugar. When he said he's going to resign, everybody said he needs a saturated treatment. But that's how John Scott became 5% owner of Apple. Nobody will do it here. They will say the police will arrest everybody. Bill Gates left school in Harvard where his parents went. I went to live in a month with his friend to start Microsoft. The parents nearly disowned him because they didn't know what he was doing. But a woman who was there doing cleaning had him as a mother, as a child, looking after him. That woman was eventually given a tiny percent of Microsoft, which eventually turned into $1 billion. So, it's so fascinating. All these young boys, all they need is the direction, and they will change the world. And you know they change the world. I'm not saying there might be some of them who are criminals, but at least when India was doing that, and we thought India was doing it, today India is ICT owner in Nigeria, we will change it. Those who carry laptop will give them more laptop. We need to study very well. We do whatever we're going to do. We're going to do it where we study, learn. The last time I went to cryptocurrency management, I told them, I'm going to learn what you're doing. It's fascinating, but I want to learn it. I can't tell you, I'm going to put money in it. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do it, but we will do what. Remember, we said we are going to move Nigeria to fourth industrial revolution. We're not going to stay outside it. Daddy is a young man. I have an idea of what they're doing, and we're going to drive it. Voters card will ask people to go, and we will talk to university. They have to allow you to go and vote. Your vote is more critical than those people they give money, because you know the right and wrong thing. So we must allow you to vote, and we'll plead with them. And there was two other questions which they wrote here. Somebody wrote about security. I've said exactly what we're going to do in security. I've said security, we will not have unsecured Nigeria under our watch. The other two important questions people ask here are the corruption and issue of our debts. Corruption and our debts. And I can tell you, borrowing, never think that borrowing is a problem. Every country of the world is owing money. Every country that develops is by borrowing. Every good business borrows money. The G7 countries are in debt. The number one biggest economy in the world is America. As we speak, American debt is almost 90% of her GDP. American debt is almost 90% of her GDP. So there's nothing wrong in borrowing. Number one biggest economy is China. China owns over 50% of its economy in debt. Nothing wrong in borrowing. Number three country is Japan. Japan debt to GDP is 230%. So Japan is owing 230% of Japan's debt. Singapore is 120. I can go on and on and tell you what countries owe. What is wrong is what you use the money you borrowed for. If you borrow it and invest, you will grow. If you borrow it and throw it away, you will collapse. The problem Nigeria has is that they borrow the money and nobody knows where the money borrowed is. Slave jumping. And I'll give you an example. If you go to the China, like I said, Japan, being the third biggest economy, is owing 230% of its GDP. Everybody knew where that Japan used that money for. And above all, Japan today is the highest owner of US Treasury. So they even have savings. If you push them, they can pay some. But I'll give you an example using two countries, two developing countries of what a debt can do. In 2010, Nigeria debt. Nigeria in 2010, the total debt of Nigeria is about $10 billion in 2010. A little bit more today. It's about that. How we start on what to do. Our GDP there, as a country, if I didn't put the local domestic debt and the external debt, it will be more, it will be about 2 or 3 times that. Our per capita, which is the real measure of wealth, in 2010, is about $2,500. Another country, Bangladesh, as at that time, was owing about $40 billion. And their per capita was $747 in 2010. In 2021, Nigerian debt by end of last year, 2022, let me go for 2000. Nigerian debt has not increased where I've told you, if you add ways and means, where debt is now 77 trillion, which is $187 billion. So our debt has grown by about maybe 600 times, because cumulatively domestic and foreign, we are about 30 times. Because I use only this, we are about 30, now we are 180 something. But our per capita is now 2,000. So we borrowed more money and our per capita went down. Bangladesh have moved from debt of $47 billion today to about $115 billion. Their per capita is now 2,500 and something. So their per capita have tripled. Their GDP have tripled. Nigeria all shrink. That means that the money you borrow, like you could say, slave chopped it. So we're going to look for that slave. Nothing for us. Yes, we're going to look for the slave. And be able to know where you can commit some. We're not going to take everything. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you then, finally, of corruption. That thing was the only house. National Assembly member, and the only senator who did not buy his house when federal government sold a house to senators. That did not buy his house. I have challenged everybody since I started this journey. Go and show me where Anambra State money is missing. The day handed over as governor is important. And listen, the day handed over as governor, I was not owing pension. I was not owing gratuity. Whatever we want pension and gratuity before I came, that something billion I cleared it off. I was not owing salary. I was not owing any contractor. Go and look for any contractor. I was not owing for any contractor who have worked or delivered what we asked him to do. Whether it's supply or in construction, I wasn't owing one person. And no contractor will ever say he sat down with P.O.D. to discuss what P.O.D. will give him. We were not doing that. And above all, I left in 3 banks in Nigeria for the Anambra State government. Access Bank of Nigeria, I had it as a balance for Anambra State government, $50 million over 10 million naira. I had for in Diamond Bank $50 million over 10 million naira. In Fidelity Bank, $50 million over 10 million naira. I left when I left office, 70-something billion naira. I did not borrow 1 naira from anybody. I did not go to anywhere to ask for borrowing. And above all, till today, you can go and verify. Now, till today, no state have any governor left that they don't have governor's benefit. Every governor who have left office today is being paid one fee or the other. When they brought it to me, my speaker had a very generous gift, a very generous pension for me, and he brought it for me to sign. And I said, Madam Speaker, I have served the people of Anambra State. By His grace, I'm going home. Anambra has never bought me a bottle of water since I left 9 years ago. So, I will fight corruption. I assure you that we will fight corruption. We will stop it. If you are not stealing, the worst corruption is nepotism. If you are not doing that, putting people who are not qualified in office, if you are not fighting for favoritism, you are not doing the wrong thing. If you, which I know me and that you are not involved, your wife and children are not involved, those around you are not involved, you only by 50%. And I assure you, we will deal with corruption. Just believe us, support us, vote for us, and new Nigeria as possible.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency. May I recognize the presence of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Sadiq Abubakar Abba, in our midst. While they shake hands with His Excellency, I will invite the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences for his vote of thanks before we take the national anthem. After the national anthem, we please get seated before His Excellency exit the venue. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. We thank you, the Labour Party presidential candidate. We know we'll give you time. You will talk beyond today. But we say we thank you for everything you have done. And we are believing by the grace of God. May 2023, on 29th, we sworn in as the President of Nigeria. Let it be so. We thank everybody. We thank the students for coming. We thank our media men. We thank the visitors. I wish everybody safe journey as we go back. And we wish our presidential candidate good luck in his campaign to become the President of Nigeria.
Thank you. Please, you may honor your seat before he exits.
It's okay.